Scott Disick is reacting to his ex Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker getting engaged, and needless to say, he is not handling it well. Scott had previously been exposed by Eunice Benjamin for gossiping about Kourtney and Travis, so Lord knows he must be punching air right now after hearing news of their engagement. Celebrity power couple Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker are taking things to the next level with an announcement that they are officially engaged. A source told Entertainment Tonight, Travis proposed to Kourtney and she said yes. The proposal happened at sunset on the beach in Montecito. Travis walked Kourtney to an area on the beach that had candles and red roses in the shape of a heart. It was very romantic and the couple was over the moon. Kourtney confirmed the news by posting a photo of them and captioning it with "Forever Travis Barker." The pair began dating back in January and were actually longtime friends and neighbors before ever getting together. A source previously told ET, "They live on the same block and things are super easy between them because they know each other so well and just click and get one another. Her kids and his kids get along so well too, which is a major plus for both of them." Soon after, they began taking family trips together with their respective kids and had already been discussing a possible engagement early on, which, as you can imagine, has not been sitting well with Kourtney's baby daddy, Scott Disick, who hasn't really been having the best luck in the dating department as of late. Scott Disick, who was just dumped by his ex-girlfriend Amelia Hamlin, allegedly sent some very harsh text messages to Kourtney's ex Eunice Benjamin about her trip with Travis to Italy. A source then came forward to confirm that Scott had some very unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis. While speaking with the press, the source said, "Kourtney and Scott are definitely not as close as they once were. Scott has some unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis being together, and Kourtney is over the jealousy. She thinks Scott needs to grow up," which is an appropriate response to those leaked messages that Scott had sent out. I mean, they were really petty, plus Eunice actually calls Scott out in those same messages. In the DM, Scott says to Eunice, "Yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like, what is this? In the middle of Italy?" And in response, Eunice says, "Doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. P.S. I ain't your bro." And this message seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back in Scott's relationship with the 20-year-old Amelia Hamlin. In addition to that, this has to sting a little bit more considering the fact that Scott and Kourtney never were married. They dated on and off for many years and had 3 children together, but finally split for good in 2015. Many people on Twitter were quick to point out the ways that Scott might be reacting right now. Tana Mojo, for example, said, "I just know Scott Disick punching the air," with others adding that he's probably going to show up to the wedding to object. God, I really hope that doesn't happen, but it definitely would make for a funny visual.
Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker are officially engaged, and their good friend Megan Fox just shared her thoughts on the adorable couple. As I'm sure you all know, Kourtney and Travis, and Megan Fox and MGK, are some of 2021's hottest couples. They are all connected through MGK and Travis Barker, who have been friends and collaborators for years. Kourtney and Megan even introduced their boyfriends at the MTV VMAs. Megan said, quote, "New York, I need you to get extra loud for our future baby daddies." Shortly before news broke that Kourtney and Travis were engaged, Megan spoke to E! News about the couple, saying, quote, "I think they're just a perfect match for each other because they have a karmic bond with each other." She also told the outlet in September, quote, "They are soulmates, they love each other and they have a really intense connection." Clearly Megan is on the money, as Travis just popped the question to a smitten Kourtney. Travis proposed to Kourtney at the Rosewood Miramar Beach Hotel in Montecito, California, while the sun was setting. There were lots of eyewitnesses at the scene, so clearly Travis was not coy about his proposal. One eyewitness told E! News, quote, "Travis escorted Kourtney down to the beach, where he had red and white florals set up in the shape of a heart. It looked very romantic. I could see Kourtney smiling from ear to ear and put her hand over her mouth looking surprised." Another source shared that Kourtney had no idea that Travis was planning to propose, saying, quote, "She teared up and couldn't stop saying I love you." Since the proposal, family, friends, and fans have all shared their support for the couple, and many are predicting it's going to be the wedding of the year. If you were wondering if the proposal or marriage will be filmed, a source said that Kris Jenner is already negotiating the terms and conditions for the marriage to be filmed for their new Hulu show. The source added, quote, "The engagement will be aired on the Kardashians' new Hulu series," noting their ceremony will also hopefully be captured once Kourtney and Travis decide on a date. Kris is apparently ecstatic about the engagement, and sources say the family has welcomed Travis with open arms. For a quick backstory on the couple, Kourtney and Travis were friends and neighbors for nearly a decade before turning romantic in 2021. The couple sparked dating rumors in January and confirmed their romance on Valentine's Day. Since then, they have been very public about their relationship, even sharing a lot of PDA with the world. For another fun fun fact, Kourtney has actually never been married or engaged before, so this is extra exciting for her. Travis has been married twice before, and the children that he shares with Shannon Moakler have been very supportive of Travis and Kourtney. They even attended the post-engagement dinner that Travis and Kourtney had to celebrate.
Megan Fox and Kourtney Kardashian caused a lot more of a stir at the MTV VMAs than people think. With so much going on though at this event, it's easy to miss these moments. Tonight though, we're going to give you a glimpse of what happened behind the scenes because it's consuming the internet right now, especially the baby daddy line that was dropped. Now normally when you go to the bathroom you want some privacy, but for this couple they really just invited cameras in with them as they stole the show again. E! News first reported that MGK, Megan Fox, Travis Barker, and Kourtney Kardashian were all up on each other in the men's room, captioning the pic with, "This photo has us tongue-tied right before the hashtag Met Gala." This comes after the reason you clicked on this video, but I thought it was also worth mentioning, considering the fact that when Megan and Kourtney went to introduce their respective partners, they said, "I'm a huge fan of this next performer. I've watched him grow, and not just as an artist, but also as a person," followed by Kourtney, who said, "I'm a fan too, and I think his drummer is super hot." E! News reports that Megan then delivered the moment that made viewers' jaws drop when she added, "New York, I need you to get extra loud for our future baby daddies, Machine Gun Kelly and Travis Barker." Now, the pair were clearly joking in that moment, but it probably wouldn't be a shock to anyone to know that they've actually discussed starting their own families. A source told several media outlets in July that Kourtney and Travis have spoken about marriage and are reportedly in it for the long haul. Meanwhile, MGK and Megan Fox had the rumor mill spinning after showing up with what appeared to be an engagement ring, which then later turned out to be false. Both women have 3 children, with Megan sharing her young boys with her ex-husband Brian Austin Green, and Kourtney sharing her daughter and sons with her former partner Scott Disick. Megan and MGK's relationship started back in spring of 2020 after they met on the set of the thriller movie called Midnights in the Switchgrass, while Kourtney and Travis took their relationship public on Valentine's Day this year, though the two had been friends for years prior. The performance from MGK and Travis Barker that night was just wild as well. MGK began by lying down in a raised pit of gravel while wearing a mask of blood-red thorns around his face. He then rose up holding his pale pink electric guitar and began singing the song Paper Cuts. Travis Barker was positioned slightly behind him but is faced off to the side, and he sported his usual shirtless attire to show off his abundance of tattoos. MGK even made a reference to Kanye West in his song, who was rumored to be making a surprise appearance but did not actually show up. I mean, maybe that's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing if you're Taylor Swift. In the song he says, "Y'all saying that I switched genres, I saw a goal and I went further. I'm a genius, could've made Donda, but this song is for my dead father," which references Kanye's recent album about his late mother, as well as mentioning Kelly's own departed father. He then ended his performance by just smashing his guitar to bits. As many of you know, prior to all of this performing though, the evening took a dramatic turn when Coulson almost got himself into a fistfight with Conor McGregor. The reports coming out are still saying that Conor asked MGK for a photo, but then was pushed away by security, with Megan even putting herself actually in between the two of them to stop the fighting from happening. Scott Disick has been exposed by an inside source for having an unsettled ill will towards Kourtney Kardashian and her new romance with Travis Barker. After a DM was leaked between Scott and one of Kourtney's exes, it proved that Disick was not over Kourtney. Scott Disick, who was just dumped by his ex-girlfriend Amelia Hamlin, has been popping up a lot in the news after he allegedly sent some harsh text messages to Kourtney's ex, Eunice Benjamin, about her trip with Travis to Italy. Now, a source has apparently come forward to confirm that Scott has some very unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis. While speaking with Entertainment Tonight, the source said, and I quote, "Kourtney and Scott are definitely not as close as they once were. Scott has some unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis being together, and Kourtney is over the jealousy. She thinks Scott needs to grow up," which is an appropriate response to those leaked messages that Scott had sent out. I mean, they were really petty, plus Eunice actually called Scott out in those same messages. In the DM, Scott says to Eunice, "Yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like what is this, in the middle of Italy?" And in response, Eunice said, "Doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy, PS I ain't your bro." This message seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back in Scott's relationship with the 20-year-old Amelia Hamlin. The same thing happened previously to Scott when he was dating Sophia Richie. Kourtney and Scott have always found a way to put their children first since breaking up in 2015, but their friendship did remain close and often flirty at times. Scott's hang-ups with Kourtney really led to the demise of both of his relationships, while Kourtney has been able to move on. This source goes on to say, "Scott and Kourtney have always had a public united front and have done a great job co-parenting. Kourtney doesn't want her kids seeing anything online that makes it look like their parents don't get along. Unfortunately for the kids, it doesn't sound like their parents are going to be done with this feud anytime soon. Well, their dad really doesn't seem like he's going to be stopping anytime soon, really." Now, aside from the obvious PDA, Kourtney and Travis have apparently been talking about their futures together. The source adds, Kourtney and Travis have grown even closer since traveling together. They've gotten so much more serious to the point that they could very well spend the rest of their lives together. They are both very committed and very happy. Their kids are also excited about a bigger, closer future together. This same source also gushed about how much Kourtney has helped Travis face his fear of flying following a very terrifying plane crash that happened to him in 2008. The source continues by saying, "She has helped Travis regain confidence in so many aspects of his life, including flying again, and he can't imagine his life without her at this point," adding, "Travis makes Kourtney laugh and he is honest, sincere, genuinely caring, and a great dad, lover, and partner. The list goes on and on. Kourtney loves all of those qualities about him and finds him very endearing." Now we know one thing is for sure, this inside source details about Kourtney and Travis's relationship is not going to cool Scott Disick down, so I guess he'll just have to be a man about the whole thing and just move on. Coming number 10, DMs leaked. Scott Disick, who was just dumped by his ex-girlfriend Amelia Hamlin, has been popping up a lot in the news lately after he allegedly sent some harsh text messages to Kourtney's ex Eunice Benjamin about her trip with Travis to Italy. Now a source has apparently come forward to confirm that Scott has some very unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis. While speaking with Entertainment Tonight, the source said, and I quote, "Kourtney and Scott are definitely not as close as they once were. Scott has some unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis being together, and Kourtney is over the jealousy. She thinks Scott needs to grow up," which is an appropriate response to those leaked messages that Scott had sent out. I mean, they were really petty, plus Eunice actually called Scott out in those same messages. In the DM, Scott says to Eunice, "Yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like what is this, in the middle of Italy?" And in response, Eunice said, "Doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy, PS I ain't your bro." This message seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back in Scott's relationship with the 20-year-old Amelia Hamlin. In number 9, Bella Thorne. Unfortunately for Scott, his new lady at the time was not of age to participate in his favorite activity of drinking booze. Back in 2017, Scott was spotted getting close with 19-year-old Bella Thorne in France while Kourtney was in Cannes, France with her new guy, Eunice Benjamin. He also taught her the art of manipulating the paparazzi to make your ex jealous. Kendall Jenner revealed Disick only started seeing Thorne to make his ex Kourtney upset. According to her, Disick had spoken with Kendall about the relationship and he flat out admitted to only doing it to make Kourtney angry. Although Scott lost his narrative when Bella Thorne told several media outlets that the relationship was legit nothing. During an interview with Complex, she told them, "Scott is really nice, sweet, charming. I don't drink and he really drinks a lot. And it just ended up, I just wasn't down. I was like, I gotta leave, I love to go out and have fun, I love to effing dance, but I just don't party hardcore like that and it was way too much for me." In number 8, cheating on vacation. For a long time, the relationship between Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian had been tumultuous to say the least. Even the rest of the Kardashian family was confused about the status of their relationship, although it became much more clear when Scott was caught getting a little too close with his ex-girlfriend Chloe Bartoli. Following the paparazzi taking these photos, the two broke up. Although that was just the nail in the coffin moment. Before this, Kim had actually caught a woman hiding in Scott's bathroom while in Dubai. Following those exposing photos, Kourtney wanted to rekindle the relationship, so she invited him to vacation with the family in Costa Rica. And while there, he actually tried to sneak a woman into the hotel room, all while he was trying to reunite with the mother of his children. In number 7, forgetting birthdays. While on vacation in the Bahamas in 2016, Scott really angered the entire Kardashian clan after he somehow forgot his daughter Penelope's birthday. She had birthday wishes from almost every family member except for Scott, her own father. Scott, who had a full 24 hours to send something, even an HBD would have been more acceptable than nothing. He sent nothing though, and didn't even offer up a happy belated birthday upon people calling him out for this. Instead, he just posted more of his own face to Instagram, proving that narcissism knows no bounds. In number 6, shaming Kourtney. We know that Scott is not afraid of telling you how he really feels. In fact, he expresses very little remorse for being vocal about things even if it's inappropriate, like the several times that he took various digs at Kourtney's weight in 2013. Many viewers of the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians were shocked to see Kourtney crying because Scott said that she couldn't lose her baby weight quickly enough after the birth of Penelope. He told her, "Last time around you tried to watch what you were eating after you had Mason, at least you were losing weight." When she replied shocked, he added harshly, "Just do it faster, you're my piece of machinery." In number 5, too many pills. Scott is no stranger to partying, as chronicled by his many drunken meltdowns captured for the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Although for his 31st birthday he took things way too far. Disick decided to get all of his friends together for an event in the Hamptons where the family was staying for the summer. However, Kourtney, who is usually his calming influencer, decided to head back to LA for North's birthday, which left Scott alone with his own demons. He got so day drunk that a member of the Kardashian security team actually had to take him to bed for a nap. Then when he woke up, he gets ready to party more as they head out to a nightclub. Unfortunately, upon arriving back at the house, Scott decided to take an entire bottle of sleeping pills, which ended up sending him to rehab. In number 4, the paparazzi. Over the course of the relationship with Kourtney Kardashian, Scott Disick has become more and more accustomed to the paparazzi being a normal part of his everyday life. These people's every moments get tracked by these photographers and sometimes are utilized by celebrities to push a certain narrative. However, in 2011, no one will forget his foul outburst on paparazzi when they got way too close to him and his son Mason at the airport. It was one of the many outbursts that they had caught on camera, but for this point, I at least acknowledge that this meltdown came as a result of protecting his own son. I mean, you gotta give him credit for that. Meltdown, good or bad. In number 3, attacking Rob. On the very same episode that Scott Scott attacked a waiter, which we'll get to soon. He also ended up getting into a huge brawl with Rob Kardashian as well. It's like he never even realized that there were cameras filming him for the show. Well, that or he just doesn't care. At one point in the episode, Scott decides that he is going to trash his entire hotel room and punch Rob Kardashian in the face. This wasn't his last time causing chaos while staying in a hotel though. 5 years later, he trashed another hotel room in Aspen that resulted in a bill of over $1,800 just for the drinks, as well as $500 in repairs to his room. And number 2, the broken mirror. Again, in a drunken rage, Scott Disick had a big fight with his own reflection. When Kourtney returned home, she could smell smoke in the room, and so she questioned Scott about this. Disick, who was passed out at the time, and upon being accused of smoking in the house, he began to lose his temper, resulting in him punching a mirror, which definitely undermines a previous episode where Kourtney said that he was a real softie and he's not a monster at all. That aside, Kim and Kourtney were visibly frightened upon seeing this and ran from the apartment to get the baby away from his deranged father. This also marks the first time that the producers of the show actually had to step in and get help for Scott to send him to the hospital for surgery on his hand. Kourtney then informed Scott of the decision to end the relationship and that he couldn't see Mason until he had cleaned up his act. And coming in at our number 1 spot, the waiter. In season 4 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Scott infamously shoved money down a waiter's throat while partying in Las Vegas for Kim's birthday. Apparently, the waiter had been told by Kris Jenner to stop giving Scott alcohol, which only set Disick off even more. As he shoved a $100 bill down the waiter's gullet, he told him to shut his effing mouth, which definitely confirms that he should have probably been cut off much earlier in the night. Because if that's your reaction when you don't get more of what you want, you shouldn't even been served more booze. Yeah.